BK Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. Before we get into the brackets for the upcoming tournament, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll. The rankings look a little different than they did last week. The Duke Blue Devils jumped all the way from the number 21 spot to number 14.
They're peaking at just the right time, Greg. This is exactly the way you want to be playing going into the tournament.
Also, a new team has fought its way into the top 25. The Washington State Cougars break into the poll as the number 25 team. It's time to talk about the topic that has a lot of players and coaches holding their breath right now, the NCAA tournament bubble. These are the 10 teams that aren't worried as much about where they'll be playing as if they'll be playing. Clark, who jumps out at you there?
Middle Tennessee can make a case as to why they deserve a tournament bid. The problem is everyone else can make a case as to why they don't belong in the tournament.
You got that right, and who else might be in the same position?
Minnesota put together a solid season, but their record just isn't impressive enough to make them a no-brainer bid. If the committee doesn't give weight to their tough conference, they could be out of luck.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The Kansas Jayhawks are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East region. They begin the tournament as the dominant team in college basketball. They've been ranked number 1 in the media poll for the past 2 weeks. Let's see if they can live up to everyone's expectation. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South region. The Ohio State Buckeyes are seeking their second NCAA championship in school history. The Texas Longhorns are our third number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our fourth number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Memphis Tigers are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 5th. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April 7th. Anything shocking to you about those picks?
I don't think I'm alone in my surprise with these picks. Whenever you reach this far down the poll for the top seeds, you're guaranteed to have some second guesses coming your way.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. The Kansas Jayhawks are the top seed, finishing at 27-4. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big 12. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between Alabama State with 16 wins and Manhattan from the Metro Atlantic Conference. And now, the number 8 seed, the South Dakota State Jacks, come into the tournament after finishing second in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Ole Miss Rebels, who were third in their conference, finishing at 20-9. West Virginia comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 24-8. And they will take on the 12th seed from Conference USA, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, with 20 wins. Michigan State enters the field as the number 4 seed from the Big Ten. This marks their 22nd appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Princeton Tigers, finished the season with 18 wins.
The Michigan State Spartans have more to prove than any other team in this tournament. They haven't had a lot of experience in the tournament recently, so it's difficult to say exactly how they'll handle it. They've shown they're capable of playing with the best teams in the nation during the regular season. Now they need to show they belong with those teams come tournament time.
The Washington State Cougars are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the Florida Gators, with 18 wins. Florida State comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 24-8. Boston University comes in to face them at number 14 with 19 wins in the tournament championship of the America East Conference. Our number 7 seed is from the Big 12. The Missouri Tigers were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Minnesota Golden Gopher, who were 4th in their conference, finishing at 18-12. Next up is the number 2 seed. The Duke Blue Devils are the conference tournament champions from the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Lipscomb Bison, with 17 wins. This marks their first appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket if the top seeds can avoid the early upsets. We can look forward to some real heavyweight battles. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Ohio State Buckeyes are the top seed, finishing at 28-5. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big Ten. They'll take on the New Orleans Privateers, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 5th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Baylor comes in as the number 8 seed, finishing at 21-10. Oregon comes in to face them at number 9 with 20 wins and a chance to prove they're right where they belong among the top 65 teams in the nation. Pittsburgh enters the field as the number 5 seed from the Big East. This will be their 20th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, UC Irvine Anteaters, finished the season with 21 wins.
Pittsburgh Panthers will be an extremely dangerous team in this tournament, mainly because they have such terrific veteran leadership. Coaches love when they have guys on the floor that have been around the block a few times because they don't get rattled. They play with composure. I look at the experience of this team as something that could put them over the top.
Illinois comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 24-10. They'll take on the 13th seed from the Big South, the Winthrop Eagles, with 19 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the North Carolina State Wolfpack, come into the tournament on the strength of a 3rd-place finish in their conference regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Oakland Grizzlies, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-9. The UCLA Bruins are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Davidson Wildcats, with 18 wins. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Arizona State Sun Devils are the conference tournament champions from the Pac-10. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Syracuse Orange, with 18 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Our number 2 seed is from the A-10 Conference. The Xavier Musketeers were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the Arkansas Razorbacks, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 15-19. It's the first question every selection Sunday. Which is the toughest bracket? Well, this bracket looks to me like it wins that prize this year. Not only are the top seeds strong, the lower seeds can be dangerous as well. On to our 3rd bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Texas Longhorns are the top seed, finishing at 25-8. They were conference tournament champions in the Big 12. They'll take on the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their first appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Our number 8 seed is from the A-10 Conference. The Dayton Flyers had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Virginia Cavaliers, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 21-11. The Aggies of Texas A&M are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the Utah State Aggies, with 23 wins. Georgetown enters the field as the number 4 seed from the Big East. This marks their 25th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, who finished the season with 19 wins.
The Georgetown Hoyas have been here before and know how to win in the tournament, so they have a very good chance to go a long way. The memory of their last trip to the Final Four is still fresh in their minds, and you can't put a price on that kind of experience, even for the guys who were just watching from the bench last time around. I think that gives them a huge edge.
North Carolina comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 21-12. And they take on the 11th seed from the West Coast Conference, the St. Mary's Gales, with 22 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the Connecticut Huskies, come into the tournament 5th in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Creighton Blue Jays, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 18 and 11. Next up is the number 7 seed, the Tennessee Volunteers, have established themselves as one of the best teams from the SEC. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Lafayette Leopards, with 24 wins. This marks their 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. Butler comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 28 and 4. Sam Houston State comes in to face them at number 15 with 17 wins in the tournament championship of the Southland Conference. I think this could wind up being the bracket that brings us this year's Cinderella story. A few of the higher seeds here have had terrific seasons, and I'll be surprised if at least one of them doesn't put together a long run in this tournament. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Memphis Tigers are the top seed, finishing at 28 and 5. They were winners of the regular season championship in Conference USA. They'll take on the Ball State Cardinals, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 8th appearance all time in the NCAA tournament. Next, the number 8 seed, the Miami Hurricanes, have established themselves as one of the best teams from the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Vanderbilt Commodores, with 22 wins. This marks their 10th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Louisville comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 25 and 10. And they will take on the 12th seed from the A-10 conference, the George Washington Colonial, with 20 wins. Cal comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 22 and 8. Northeastern comes in to face them at number 13 with 17 wins in the tournament championship of the Colonial Athletic Association. Our number 6 seed is from the SEC. The Alabama Crimson Tide had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Murray State Racers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 21 and 8. The Kansas State Wildcats are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the UNLV Runnin' Rebels, with 20 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the Maryland Terrapins, come into the tournament after finishing second in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Oklahoma Sooners, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 19 and 14. Kentucky enters the field as the number 2 seed from the SEC. It's yet another appearance in the brackets for a school that's no stranger to the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed, the Mountaineers of Mount St. Mary. Finished the season with 16 wins.
The Kentucky Wildcats are certainly a team to watch out for. They're a tremendous all-around team and have the ability to beat anyone on any given day. They didn't get to be one of the highest-ranked teams in the nation by accident. This is a dangerous team that knows how to win, and I would not take them lightly.
What a tremendous regional final we'd have in this bracket if the number 1 and 2 seeds here make it through the first 3 rounds unscathed. That could be one of the games of the tournament. Clark, give us your take on the tournament's top 16 seeds.
Connecticut surprised me with their seed. I thought their performance this season would put them in as a 4th seed. Kentucky might be a number 2 seed, but they have as much talent as any other team out there. If they can figure out how to gel together this tournament, they'll have a good chance at a title.
Now, let's see how the conference representation fares. The ACC gets 7 teams. The Big 12 with 7. 7 out of the SEC. The Big East gets 16.
What a down year for the non-power conference. We're used to seeing at least one of those conferences compete on the level of the power conference, but not this year.
And let's not forget the teams. For a small conference, they competed at a very high level this year. Those teams could be the place to look if you're trying to find a Cinderella story in the tournament.
I'm surprised there were so few bids for the teams in the Mountain West Conference. It was an especially disappointing year for that conference. Usually you can count on a few of the nation's elite teams coming out of there, but this was a season where very few of those teams could maintain any type of positive momentum.
Let's come back to the bubble teams that we mentioned earlier in the show and see which of the teams were able to get into the tournament.
Syracuse
must feel like a weight was lifted off its shoulders, but now the real challenge begins. Making a strong run in the tournament will justify the bid while proving the naysayers wrong.
While those teams are celebrating getting into the tournament, let's take a look at the other teams who are on the short end of the stick.
Michigan probably thinks their resume is as good as a few of the teams that got an invitation. but they didn't have that preseason tournament championship or that one big win that would have set them apart.
All right, Clark, now that we know all the teams and matchups, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, let's throw the ball up right now. I can't wait to get started. I hope this is an NCAA tournament that gives a lot of those special moments that stay with us for years to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament.